June 25th, 2026, micro crude oil futures. In this video, I'll cover the crude downtrend, gaps on a 4-hour and 1-minute chart, poor structure with a target area of 71.40, 5-wave move, gap and go, and adding. So let's switch over to the 4-hour chart. I'm going to use this price right in here around 92 and change as my reference point, and then price moves down. You get a pop up here, and then price moves down again. So I am essentially looking for a reversal to trade to the long side. Switch back to the 1-minute chart. Now let's see the gaps on the 4-hour chart. Forgot to show you that. Gaps on the 4-hour chart. If you continue to move and scroll left, you'll see the gap in this zone right here. Zoom in on that for you. So right around here, around 67.70, there's a gap between this candle body and this candle body. So do expect price to actually dip down into this area and potentially then make a nice move back up. Switch back to the 1-minute chart. So we're looking for poor structure on the 1-minute chart. So let's zoom out. We'll look at the overnight session. A little further. Here's the overnight session. This is the low. And then there's a couple gaps right here. I'll zoom in. Show you those. So this is the bottom. This is a 68.87, and you get this candle body gapping up over this candle body. So there's a gap there. You can't connect the candle bodies, and same here. That's what those yellow lines are highlighting. Those are showing you the gaps. So this is either gap and go, and this is the start of the move up, or this is poor structure, and price moves back down and fill these gap before it goes up. So we get a test of the area almost, but it doesn't come down and fill this gap. So that's essentially bullish. We had another test right there, and you could potentially say even just a higher low here where it didn't even come down and test. So let's move into I'm going to actually zoom out and show you this 71.40 target. So that's that green line. That's at 71.40. I'm going to scroll left approximately 2 days. This was June 24th at 7:41 Eastern Standard Time. Let me zoom in on this area. So here, I've put that green line at the bottom of this body. It's the lowest body, and it might touch this one as well. And then price gaps down. So nowhere does price move back up and essentially fill this gap zone. So if I draw another line here, let's just duplicate this. Duplicate this, and we'll move it to the top of this body. Actually, the top of that body. They're the same. So that's close enough. So we can see that this is the high of this body, and it's pretty close to the high of this body, and we cannot connect 4 candle bodies in here. We can connect 3 here, but we're only connecting 1 here and only connecting 1 here. So when we scroll right, this is essentially poor structure that should be retraced. Some people call it fair value gap. So let's scroll to the right, scroll to the left. So there's our zone, and we'll just keep scrolling, and we'll see if that zone gets retraced. So no retraces yet. And then we're into today, pre-market, and no retrace. So my idea is that price will move up and tag that zone today. So let's get into the waves. Now that we have a target identified, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see these candles better. Here's the 1 minute candle, opening candle, the white and magenta line, that's VWAP. So you can see price dip below VWAP and actually closed above. I don't know that this is the wave one beginning until price moves up and pulls back. So there's, which it does, moves up, 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 up. And then here we get this candle body, and then we get this doji candle body. So this candle body is underneath this candle body. But why do I have it marked as a red failed wave one? It's red because the open of this candle body is 70.13. Then the open of this candle is 70.13. So yes, it is a high, and we get the candle body under candle body, which means, hey, price could be pulling back. But then this second candle opens where this other one actually opened, so they're connecting. The top of this candle body is the open of this candle body, so they're intersecting, and that's why it's not the wave one high, because you want to find the highest, smallest candle body, which then becomes this one, this pink one right here, which is the wave one. So now we're looking for the pullback, right? And we get a pullback here, candle body, under candle body, and price goes up. Okay, everything's looking good. And then price comes back down. Why do I have this marked as a wave two in red, which is a failure? Well, because price went lower. And these yellow lines are just simply signifying to you that, hey, this candle body looked like the wave two, this candle body looked like the wave two, and they're intersecting. So they're over, part of those candle bodies are intersecting and overlapping. So that's a wave. They're both basically wave two bottoms, but they are both failures. You can see that we had poor structure through here. We can't connect multiple candle bodies. We have a gap here, we've got a gap here, and we have poor structure here as well. The price comes all the way down, and lo and behold, fills this poor structure zone. I'm going to scroll to the right. My labels get a little bit off center when I resize my charts. This becomes the wave two bottom. How do we know it's the wave two bottom? We don't until we see candle body over candle body. So right here, this candle body is clearly over this candle body and this one, but most importantly, my smallest, lowest candle body is this one. Therefore, this candle body is over. This is not, let's see if that's one, let's see if that is actually it. So that candle opens at 69.82. And this one opened at 69.82. So the bottom of this is intersecting the top of this. So that is not candle body over candle body, not until you get to probably this one right here, technically this one, but it's clearly easy to see here. At this point, we're expecting price to now start pushing up above wave one and printing new candle bodies above that. Complete independent candle bodies above wave one, and that happens up in this zone. But let's stop and pause right here. So why is this not the wave, wave two end, the pull back to wave three and pushing up? Because this is an internal wave. It's a subwave, meaning that this wave exists inside of this wave one high and this wave two beginning. So it's an internal wave. I don't care about those. Absolutely do not matter, because we're looking for wave two to break out above wave one. And that's exactly what happens. Continue scrolling to the right. So we get this wave two, and let's move this candle body over here. How do we know that that's the wave two high? Because we get candle body here under candle body. So this is now pulling back. Why is it a wave three in red being failed? Because this doji right here, this candle body is actually lower than this one. So this wave three came down, it looked good, gaps up, looks good, but then pulls back even more and creates this doji here, and then price goes up. So we now need to see price closing above wave two. So we get a close above wave two, Now we need to see a candle body completely above wave 2 candle body. Don't care about wicks at all. This candle body right here is above this wave 2. So this candle body is completely independent above this wave 2. So that's wave 3. How do we know it's wave 3? Because we get the pullback here, this candle body under candle body. So now we know price is no longer going up, it's going down. And down, 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 down. How do we know that this is wave 4 beginning? We know that this is wave 4 beginning because we get candle body over candle body. It's actually over this one as well, which was our wave 4 beginning low. And we get the gap. We get a gap and go. How do we know that this is, let me backtrack. Now we need to see candle bodies closing above wave 3. So we get a close above wave 3, but this one intersects. This one is clearly above the wave 3 candle body. And I technically use this even though I'm calling this the wave 3 high. So yes, we're closing above the wave 3 candle body. We're closing above the wave 3 high. And price keeps going up. How do we know that this is the smallest, highest candle body? Because then we ultimately get this gap down here. I think it's either this candle body or this candle body. One, if that one's not below this one is definitely below this, so we know price is no longer going up, it's going down. And we have a, let me zoom in on this. This is important. We get this gap down, so now you know this also telling you, hey, we're gapping down. This is gap and go down, gap and go down, gap and go down. So we're expecting a pullback. From every wave high, you expect a pullback. Where do we expect it to go? We really don't want to see it closing below this, and we expect it to maybe come down, test the top of wave 3, right? So I can't connect 4 candle bodies here. I can only connect 1. So in this tiny zone right in here, I can only connect 1 candle body, this one. Price comes down and does dip down inside to that and fill it. You can see I already have that marked as a wave 5, but it's a failure, so that's already telling us, hey, we know that wave 5 actually went lower. And since my labels get screwed up when I resize, I gotta move these labels all around. I wish they would just stay linked to the candle I put them on. But anyway, so this candle body makes a new low, and then we get candle body, or this candle body is over this candle body. So at this point in time, this is my smallest, lowest candle body. Yes, this is the lowest low, but this is my smallest, lowest candle body. So the easiest place for price to gap up to create a candle body over that is this one, not this one. And here we go, this candle body over this candle body. So now we know, hey, if we're expecting a 5-wave move, and we just had this nice pullback refilled in this poor structure zone, then we should expect price to start moving back up. And lo and behold, it keeps moving. So wave 5 can be a bit sketchy, meaning it could just be a wick above wave 4. But keep in mind, our target was that 71.40. And I'm going to remember that's just that zone of where there was no candle bodies in between these two green lines. So my target was that 71.40, and we'll zoom out. So we can see price is now breaking up above, right? And we're really looking for that push all the way up, tag. And then you get the wave 5 high. So wave 5 body high, which is this one. And you get candle body, under candle body. So that terminates wave 5. So I'm going to zoom out, get back to this agenda. So there's our 5-wave move. Now let's get into these gap and goes. I'm going to turn on my script. Let me see if I've got it on another screen. Hang on. Yeah. Let me just detach this. some of these other things. Okay, so gap and go. Zoom in on that. Gap and go. Where you see these green wedges, this means that the candle body, the bottom, the open or the close, whichever is lower, is gapping above the previous candle body high, not the wick, not the tails. It only evaluates bodies. So this is gap and go. If you're bullish, you want to see gap and go. So this candle is gapping up over this. Also notice that this, when price popped up here, it consolidated for 5 minutes, but it consolidated at the upper, basically at the upper probably 75% of this candle body. That's always extremely bullish when you see that. This candle gaps up over this one. This candle gaps up over this one. So this is gapping and going. That's exactly what you want to see. Yes, it's creating poor structure, but in order to leave a zone, you've got to have gap and go. If you're going up, you need gap and go. If you're coming down, you need gap and go. So here, this orange, kind of like burnt orange color, this is showing you that there's a gap between these two candles. So this is gap and go down. But if we're bullish, we're just expecting retracements into these, zones where there are either gaps or there's poor structure where we can't connect 4 candle bodies. So we get the wave 1 pullback, and then you see this gap. Maybe that, I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's the bottom. We're getting gap, and maybe this thing's going to start going again. No, it doesn't. It fails. And here we get this gap down, right? So price is still trending down. Price starts moving up. So we get here. This is gap and go. Once again, and then you get this pullback, and that's a gap. But then price keeps pushing, gap and go, gap and go, gap and go, gap and go. And you need to see this pushing over wave 1. That's exactly what happens. So whether this gap and go is useful to you or not, take it or leave it. I will give you one section right here. Is that price is gapping down, gapping down, gapping down, gapping down. We get into this area where we can connect 4 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there was a gap down in here, so maybe price comes down in there and fills that, but it doesn't. Then as we transition, look, gap and go down, gap and go down, gap and go down, gap and go down. There are no gap ups in here, none, 0. So if you're potentially getting demoralized or thinking, oh, that's going to reverse all the way down and fill those gaps that I showed lower, yeah, possibly. However, then this happens. So we come out of this with this gap, with this doji above this gap and go. It doesn't really matter if this is doji, it's a gap. Now we're expecting this thing to go, and it consolidates at the top of this candle and actually slightly above it for 3 minutes. But also very bullish. And then we start to gap and go again. So the transition here was, okay, we got 4 gap downs, and now we finally get the gap up. So this is potentially your signal that this is reversing and going to go up and finally make that wave 5 move and hit your target. And it does. It hits our 71.40. So I'm going to zoom out. I'll show you my trades in here. So long right here at 70.18, added as it's breaking over wave 1, wave 2 high, pull back, add on this candle at 70.44, price goes up, I'm still bullish, add one more down here, and put my limit orders to sell. I sold like 2 at 71.40, 1 at 71.44, maybe 1 at 71.45, and So that's my trade. It's one of my better trades on executing against the waves that I make videos about. So here you can actually see me following the waves. You can see me holding to my target into a fifth wave move. And here you can finally see me adding a couple times on a pullback, waiting for that push, anticipating that push up into wave 5. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.